Happy full moon and summer solstice if you're on my side of the earth. I was feeling called to sit down and do a collective reading again. And once again, not really knowing where it's going to go, but we're going to find out. Five of Cups. I love this card, especially in this deck. In this particular deck, she's pouring out cups over a grave and watering it and making sure that the grass stays green. And so what that is representing is the past energy that has left, has gone, is not a bad thing necessarily, but she can recognize how it shaped her life and where she is now. She's not upset over it ending. She understands, but she is also taking forward what has ended and learning and growing from it. It's very, very beautiful card, and I love the representation here. It's a little bit different than the regular Five of Cups, so I quite like that. Wow. I can already feel this energy is like a super calm, peaceful, knowing type energy. I feel like this reading might be even actually quite quick. But we'll see. We'll get into it. But it's almost this understanding and love for the new beginnings coming in, but also loving the past. Sorry, I have allergies and I'm ready to sneeze here in a second, so I'm trying not to. Allergy season, go figure. Anyway, I really want to take note too. It's like there's these blackberry bushes, and you see that in the blackberry bushes, a lot of them are still red, and only one is black, which means that this black one is ready to be picked and ready to move on. And the others are not yet ready. So this can speak about moving on from work, friends, family, but it's in a good way. It's not like burning bridges or anything like that. It's just you're ready to move on, and there's this peace with it. Just a real sense of peace and balance and understanding. And white roses are in the background too, symbolizing purity and innocence. So it is this, calm, innocent kind of energy, balanced and really peaceful. Something is flourishing. You've got the rabbit for fertility. Something is coming up that's going to be exceptionally abundant. And I think that's why the peace of whatever you're leaving behind and the understanding of leaving it behind is okay with you. Yeah, balance. Balance. And what's interesting too is like, you'll see in this particular card, the woman is giving her flowers and the other woman is giving her money. Meanwhile, he has his hand out, but he's not ready to give anything. And you would think that she's generous and going to give both the money, but if you see there, she's only giving the woman money, and you have this little flicker, and I believe it's a northern flicker, which is interesting because I actually just saved one about a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I've never noticed that before. But if you look, the flicker sees his hand behind his back and his other hand, and the flicker is going to warn her about that balance, about keeping that balance. not selling yourself short to help somebody else or think that you're helping somebody else. Meanwhile, they're just taking from you. So there's this balance and this understanding of trusting your intuition and trusting your guides and your inner knowing and your inner voice about who to trust, who not to trust, where to take your energy, where to give your energy, who's allowed to be in your energy and who's not. And like I said, with the Five of Cups, it is this like innocence and balance and harmony. And like both of these cards you see here, she's a young girl, innocence, and now she's an older woman. And these are just the energies. It doesn't actually mean that this is just for women or that. I'm just calling it as the cards see it, but this can go for anyone in this energy. It's just the energy of the innocence, the calm, peaceful manner. Feminine energy is very receptive, very giving, very soft. And that's the energy that I'm seeing. And it's almost like this walking away from innocence, moving away from this almost intentional innocence or intentional obliviousness, people pleasing, into a mode of, no, I need to do what's right for me, and balancing that out. And I will give to people what I can and who I trust. But I'm not going to give to everybody anymore. I'm not going to just, I'm not going to give the shirt off of my back to somebody who has 5 shirts. I'm going to give the shirt off of my back to somebody who's naked, right? Like, it's that kind of energy. It's really soft. It's so interesting. Yesterday's reading was way more intense, bubbly, abrupt, cut you with a knife kind of thing, passionate. This is really calm. This is really relaxed. This is really softened. And it's a good energy to be in. It's a good, soft, kind, gentle energy. And there is power in gentleness. There's power in kindness. And what I mean by that is there's power in gentleness and in kindness for yourself, not just other people. You have to be kind and gentle with yourself. You have to give yourself grace. And there's power in that, because once you take that power and you give that to yourself, you are stronger than you can ever imagine, and nobody can take advantage of that. So what else do we have here? That one wants to come out. The sun. It's so peaceful. This reminds me of like a summer day where it gets too hot, because here it gets to astronomical temperatures. But this is almost that energy of midday siesta. Let's all take a break, have some iced tea, lemonade, and enjoy each other's company, or even being by ourselves under a tree. And it's just this energy of just calm and relaxed. There's no hurry. There's no rush. There's no sorry about that. My daughter is home from daycare today. And that's interesting. I love that came up. Okay, so, and I take everything has a meaning in a reading. And so as I'm doing the reading and my daughter interrupts, it's about taking that break. We were just talking about, okay, we're doing all the work. Now it's time to rest, take a break, have some lemonade, have some iced tea. And so I find that that's really, really potent in this reading. It's about slowing down, really assessing, balancing yourself out, balancing your own energies. A slower pace almost. Like all of these cards are in like a village or a small town type feeling. It's very slow. So it's time to slow your, oh my gosh. The Knight of Pentacles. Slow your pace. Typically, in most decks, the Knight of Pentacles isn't even moving. This one, you can see the horses taking steps. And you've got a falcon, I believe, or a hawk above, soaring forward, showing the way. And she has... Sorry about that again. The Knight of Pentacles is typically not moving, and in this one it is. And you can see the hawk or the falcon showing the way. And the woman has peonies, it looks like. Beautiful, deep pink peonies with the pentacle. And what's interesting is you see here in the field looks like it's just been tilled and planted. Like she's just finished planting the seeds, which means that it's a time of patience. You know, we plant a seed in the ground and we water it, but then we have to wait for it to come up. There's lots of work underneath the sand, the soil. There's lots of work going on underneath of the soil that we can't see. And so right now, that is that time of rest. It's on the outside, we need a rest. But on the inside, there's lots going on and lots of growth happening and changes happening. And so that is why we need that rest. Especially with this, releasing innocence, coming into a more balanced understanding and healthy aspect to ourselves, and really balancing what we need and what the people around us need, and being still able to be kind and giving to them, but also being kind and giving to ourselves. Ace of Swords has been coming up in almost every reading I have been doing in the last few days, almost a week actually, maybe. And this speaks to your heart's truth. This speaks to what is true for you. And what I love about this particular deck is the mouse climbing up the dandelion. And then you also see a dandelion that has seeded, and then all the seeds that are blowing. And it almost looks like this mouse is blowing those seeds away, like wishing for his heart's desire. And that's what this is kind of about, is being honest about that heart's desire and truth, and going after it. He's climbed the dandelion to blow on those seeds and touch that next dandelion and touch the sword. So he's going after his truth. And so really heading in the direction of your heart's desire, heading in the direction of your own truth, speaking your truth, letting everybody know your truth. And I mean, with the Six of Pentacles here being about balance and giving, right? And then having the sword, the Ace of Swords, it's like cutting down and seeing the truth. It's about seeing who is for you, who's not. It's about seeing what is a balance for you. Trusting your gut, trusting your intuition on whether or not you should be giving to somebody or not, whether or not you should be giving to your job or not. You may love your job, but maybe you're spending too much time there and not enough with your family, and maybe you want to spend more time with your family. It's about finding your truth and sticking to it and voicing it. And the Eight of Pentacles under the sun. Yes. So you see in here, the card, the sun card, you see it's like super hot and there's nobody outside. Well, that's because the work is being done inside. Everyone's taking a break from the outside, the perception, everything that everyone can see, and everyone is working inward. This is a lot of inward work, and you've been doing it. And you're going to be doing it. And it's going to change a lot of things in your life. And this calm and peace by doing this work is going to emanate from you in everything. And people are going to see it and they're going to want a piece of it. And so you're going to have to be very discerning as to who you give that piece to. I love this card. This is the Lover's card in this deck. It's called the Lord and the Lady. And to me, it reminds me of Athena. Quite honestly, just her look, and then to have the horned god beside her, it just reminds me of Athena. And Athena stood in her power, her womanhood, of who she was. She decided to forsake marriage or a man and to be her own person, and that's really what this reading is about. Gender aside, energy aside, this is about coming into yourself, coming into who you are. Now, in this particular depiction, which is, I know, kind of funny, that why does she remind you of Athena? She's holding somebody's hand. Well, yes, she is. But it doesn't have to be romantic. It's platonic. She had many, many friends. And there was one great love of her life, which she ended up being scorned. She turned him into she turned him into a stag to be chased by his own dogs because he wounded one of her deer, I think. I can't remember the full story. But the whole point is that she was her own person. She trusted her instincts and herself, and she was her own person. She is also the patron goddess of women and pregnancy and maternity. She was their protector. When a woman was pregnant or in labor, that's who they prayed to. And so fertility, because she protected them and saw them through the trials of pregnancy and labor. She did not necessarily, like I said, she forsake that herself, but she was the mother to all women and helped nurture and mother them during their journey from maiden to mother, which is very beautiful. And this again is about going from this like maiden aspect, this young, innocent aspect, into adulthood, into a more nurturing, balanced, soft, mothering type energy, fathering type energy, that type of energy. It's going from innocence, childhood, teenager to adult. That's the energy that's happening. That is what's going on underneath of everything. That is the seed that has been planted and is starting to grow. The reading that the collective that this reading is for has done a lot of or is going through a lot of healing, a lot of balancing, a lot of self-work. A lot of self-work. This is amazing. There's going to be... It's all about balance. Like, everything is about balance in this. This is unreal. This is unreal. Five of Chalices, even though it's not technically a balancing card, the way it's shown and depicted and the message I'm getting is about balance. Six of Pentacles, about balance. The Lord and the Lady, that's your yin and yang, your balance. Like, this is all I wouldn't be surprised if like the moon card showed up because we have the sun. Like, I mean, it's that kind of a balance. Nine of Swords. Yeah. A lot of people see this card as anxiety, and in some decks it is, but this is you've been going through it. Like, this is healing. This is going through and really assessing and working through what you need to alone. Our healing, our growth, our journey isn't always with other people. And even though it can be difficult and hard for us to do some of the things on our own, this is your knowing. This comes underneath of the Six of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So this is about your own balance and your truth, and knowing that you have to go through a lot of this alone, and kind of, even though the Hermit's not here, it is like that hermitizing state of, I need to be on my own. I need to cry it out. This is good. And like I said before with the Five of Chalices, even though something is leaving or has gone, like this innocence piece, and you're moving through into adulthood, into this more mature feeling and energy, and it can be a struggle to get through all of the healing and the different things, it's necessary. Like with the five, like I said, the Five of Cups here, the Five of Chalices, she's not upset. Like, she's sad, yes, but she understands that it needs to happen. And so even with the Nine of Swords, you see her crying and she's up. The energy that I'm picking up from that is not one of anxious, I can't get out of this kind of feeling. I mean, if it was an I can't get out of this, we'd potentially have the Eight of Swords, but we have the Nine of Swords, which means you know you can get out of it. And you know that you can move forward. But you also know that you have to feel all of those things. Feel all of those emotions. Feel all of the pains and the things that you're leaving behind. Understand it and recognize it and go forward. Yeah, see, in that we've got the Four of Cups now. And there's actually a dragon in, a dragonfly rather, in here. And that's all about transformation. And she's sitting here with her cups, kind of dejected, not seeing that he's behind her. This man is behind her with a cup. Sorry about that. So she doesn't see him in the background with another cup. And what I find interesting about this is, I'm not, like, the energy that I'm picking up, this isn't her unsatisfied with what she has or her cups. It feels more like she's waiting for him to get home. It almost feels like she's setting the table. She's setting the table. And she needed another cup, and he went to go and fetch it. Went and got it. And I feel like this is about energy. This is that glow up, grow up. This is where you were before. Now you're ready to move forward and have one more thing, one more skill, one more asset added to your emotional capacity. And so with all of the healing that's being done, you're now setting the table and realize you only have 3 cups and you need 4. And so you're doing the work and in order to have the 4th. And so now the 4th is coming in being like, you did the work. You did good. You got it all handled. You see what you needed. Here you go. Here's your 4th cup, right? It's about recognizing what you don't have asking for it, manifesting for it, and working towards it. Because you can't just, part of manifestation it's not just about saying, I want this, or, well, it's not even saying I want this, but you can imagine you have something, right? Like the big house with the white picket fence, or whatever it is you want. You can imagine yourself in it, feel that emotion and all that thing. But that doesn't mean that you're going to manifest it. You actually have to put in some of the work. You have to put in the action. She wanted a fourth cup. She's like, fourth cup needs to be on this table. I know that there's a fourth cup coming to this table. So I need to clean it up. I need to make sure there's room for 4 cups. She can't just sit there. Now that the work is done, now that she's cleaned off the table, she's cleaned up the space, she's put a nice little plant on the table, she's done the work. Now she's resting. That cup will come in. It's all about this, the sun card, right? All of the work was done in the morning. Now there's rest time. Now the work that's inside needs to be done, right? And that's what it's about. You have been doing and are doing the internal work. You are doing the steps in order for that to come in. That's what's beautiful. Okay. I feel like I'm repeating myself now, but there are a few more messages that need to come out, I think. So we'll go with that. Please, any more messages for the collective? Yeah. Just follow your truth and work on your inner world. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did I not say? The moon. The moon came out. Told you. Balance. Outer world, inner world. So within, so without. Or so without, so within. Okay. So you've got the Knight of Swords. This is fast action movement. It's so funny. The horse and the man on the horse looks genuinely excited to go and tell the news that he has. The proclamation. Like he's holding the sword up, being like, this is what I have to tell you. This is exciting. I'm excited. And I feel like this is the energy that you're going to embody after a set amount of time in this internal healing place. And the reason is once you have done, I mean, we're always healing constantly through life. You're never not going to heal. But after this point, you've come to this realization and you're super excited and you're moving forward. And you're moving into a extremely stable, content, happy place. I mean, you have the King of Pentacles. He's sitting there with his abundance. He's got a beautiful garden. He's got everything that he could ever want right there. And he's happy. He's smiling. And he's sitting and he's content. And so this is that movement towards contentment and your own heart's truth. This is movement towards a more mature understanding of a situation. Like I said, we started off with this innocence, the white roses, this purity, innocence, and walking away from this portion of life into a more mature, stabilized understanding of emotions and the mind. I mean, we have a lot of pentacles and we have a lot of cups. And interestingly, we don't have any wands. So this is more structured around stability, emotional stability, over passions, like your heart's truth is your emotional truth. It's not a passionate truth. Your passion sits lower. Your heart truth is your emotional truth, your emotional standing. And with all the pentacles and the work that's being put in, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, those are all balancing acts, balancing in the stability of your emotions, and your mind. You're balancing those aspects in your life, and I think that that is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And then, yeah, having the moon show up at the bottom of the deck, right? That's again the opposite of the sun. It's balance, illumination. It's illuminating. What this is what I love about this particular deck. In this particular deck. Oh, see, this is exciting. Okay. So in this particular deck, you see a woman walking with a wand. And I had said there magically hadn't been any wands showing up. And she walks to the lake and she sees the moon reflection in the lake. And then there's a fish that jumps out. Now, what's beautiful about this is a lot of times the moon is represented by illusions. There's lots of illusions and things like that. In this particular deck, it's this discernment of emotion, right? And discernment of what is truth and what is not. And what is still truth. Sorry about that again. Lots of interruptions in the reading, but I think that comes down to really, again, about the balancing act. You know, we can get really frustrated with interruptions and pauses, or we can recognize what they're there for and really come back to ourselves. So interesting that keeps happening, but good. So with this particular moon card, you can see the moon, which is the real moon, but you see the moon in the lake. Now, one could argue that that's not the real moon, but you could also argue that it is. It's just its reflection. It's just its reflection. It's mirroring to itself. The only way the moon could ever see its own self, its own space, is by seeing it in the lakes and the rivers and the oceans. And so it's about looking at oneself and assessing that. The moon would never know what it looked like if it didn't see itself in a lake. Just like you would never know yourself if you didn't look at your own emotions and look deeply into your own self. And this woman, like I said, that had a wand. This is why I find this very entertaining, is because I didn't say that there was no wands in the reading. And after looking at your emotions and really assessing them and truly knowing yourself by reading and seeing and looking into your emotions and becoming emotionally stable, the Queen of Wands, passion, manifestation, creating everything that you passionately want in life, your life's purpose, fulfillment. She went to the lake of emotions and sat and pondered and deeply reflected on her own emotions, her own self, to know herself enough to know what her passions are and to go after them and manifest them. That's the energy here. This is all very calm and relaxed and very deep work, inner work. And it's beautiful. Like, I can feel it in my heart right now. How heart-opening and intense this has been and will be. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. When you can truly know your own emotions and your own state, and you know yourself. When you can open up into that and observe those things and know yourself truly, like I said, with when the lovers came out, and she to me reminds me of Athena, she knew herself fully and completely. She was very much aware of her emotions and what she needed in life, and she went after it. And that's what this is, this whole thing. So whatever you are doing currently internally and doing the work, or will be, because for some of you this hasn't happened yet, but it will. You will come out of this from almost like a matrix thing. Like your eyes have not been open. You're innocent. Your eyes have not been opened to doing the work, and then your eyes being open and you healing and you becoming more mature. And yeah, you'll know yourself so fully. You'll be able to go after anything you want, anything you're passionate about, and anything that you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually desire. It's beautiful. It's so balanced. It's so balanced.